In a quiet town, nestled between green hills, there lived an old carpenter named James. For over 40 years, he had worked tirelessly, creating the finest furniture the town had ever seen. His hands, though worn with age, still moved with the precision and grace of a master craftsman. James was well respected, not just for his skills, but also for his wisdom and humility. One day, the wealthiest man in town, Mr. William, approached James with a special request. Mr. William had recently bought a grand mansion on the hill and wanted a magnificent table to be the centerpiece of his dining room. He insisted that only James could create such a piece. "James," said Mr. William, "I want this table to be a masterpiece. Spare no expense. Use the finest wood, the best tools, and take as long as you need. I want this table to reflect the grandeur of my new home." James agreed, and after much thought, he selected a piece of wood from a rare tree that had been felled during a storm many years ago. This wood was special, with deep, rich grain and a warmth that seemed to radiate from within. James knew that it would be perfect for the table. Day after day, James worked on the table, carving intricate designs into the wood, sanding it until it was smooth as glass, and applying layer upon layer of polish to bring out its natural beauty. He spent months on the project, pouring all his skill, patience, and love into every detail. Finally, the table was complete. It was a masterpiece, just as Mr. William had requested. The wood glowed with a deep, lustrous finish, and the carvings were so fine that they seemed almost alive. James stood back and admired his work, feeling a deep sense of satisfaction. When Mr. Williams saw the table, he was overjoyed. "This is beyond anything I could have imagined, James," he exclaimed. "You have outdone yourself. This table will be the pride of my home." Mr. William paid James handsomely for his work and invited the entire town to a grand banquet to celebrate the new table. The event was lavish, with the finest foods and wines, and everyone marveled at the table's beauty. It became the talk of the town, and soon people from neighboring villages came to see the table that James had crafted. As the days passed, however, James felt a growing sense of unease. He had spent so much time and effort on the table, but now that it was finished, he felt empty. The joy of creation had faded, and all that remained was a hollow sense of accomplishment. He began to wonder if he had made the right choice in dedicating so much of himself to the table. One evening, James was sitting on the porch of his modest home, lost in thought, when a young boy approached him. The boy was the son of a poor farmer who lived on the outskirts of town. He had heard stories of James's skill and had come to ask for help. "Mr. James," the boy said hesitantly, "my father and I have been trying to build a table for our kitchen, but we don't have the right tools or wood. We just want something simple so that our family can eat together. Could you help us?" James looked at the boy, and something in his heart shifted. Here was a child asking for something that James had taken for granted all his life, a place to share meals with loved ones. He realized that in his pursuit of perfection, he had lost sight of what truly mattered. "Of course, I will help you," James replied with a warm smile. "Let's go see what we can do." The next day, James visited the boy's home. The table they had been trying to build was rough and uneven, made from scraps of wood that were barely holding together. James could see the effort they had put into it, and his heart went out to them. Instead of starting from scratch, James decided to teach the boy and his father how to finish the table they had begun. He showed them how to sand the wood properly, how to join the pieces together securely, and how to apply a simple finish that would protect the table for years to come. They worked together for several days, and slowly but surely, the table took shape. Don't forget to like and subscribe to get notified about new videos. When the table was finally complete, it was nothing like the grand masterpiece James had made for Mr. William. It was small and plain, with no intricate carvings or polished finish. But to the boy and his family, it was perfect. It was a table that they had made with their own hands, with the help of a kind and generous man. As they sat down to share their first meal at the new table, James felt a deep sense of fulfillment that he hadn't felt in a long time. This simple, humble table, made with love and care, brought more joy to his heart than any masterpiece ever could. Word of James's kindness spread throughout the town, and soon others began to seek his help. Not for grand pieces of furniture, but for simple things: a chair, a bench, a shelf. James gladly offered his assistance, finding true happiness in helping others with their everyday needs. Over time, James became known not just as a master carpenter, but as a man who understood the true value of his craft. He realized that it wasn't the grandeur of the work that mattered, but the purpose it served and the lives it touched. Years later, when James passed away, the town held a special ceremony in his honor. They placed the small, simple table he had helped the boy and his father build in the town square as a symbol of his legacy. It stood as a reminder to everyone that true greatness is not measured by the scale of our accomplishments, but by the love and kindness we show to others. And so, James's story lived on, inspiring future generations to find joy not in the pursuit of perfection, but in the simple act of giving and creating something meaningful for others. The carpenter's masterpiece, it turned out, was not a table, but the lives he touched along the way. If you enjoyed my video, please like and subscribe.